Hey, have you ever heard of the idiom a blessing in disguise?
Yes, I have. It means that something that seems bad or unfortunate at first can turn out to be good in the end.
That's right. Do you know where the phrase comes from?
It originated in the 18th century from a story about a man who lost his job and then found a treasure while searching for work.
Interesting. Can you give me an example of how the phrase could be used?
Sure, let's say you were laid off from your job, but then you found a better opportunity that you wouldn't have pursued if you were still working at your old job. That's a blessing in disguise.
I see. So, it means that something bad can turn out to be good in the end.
Exactly. It's a reminder to stay positive and keep an open mind, even when things don't go as planned.
Thanks for explaining that to me. I'll definitely keep that in mind.
No problem. It's always good to learn new idioms and their meanings.
Hey, have you heard of the idiom a penny saved is a penny earned?
Yes, I have. It means that saving money is just as important as earning it.
Exactly. Did you know that the idiom originated from Benjamin Franklin's Poor Richard's Almanac?
Yes, I did. It's a famous quote that still holds true today.
Saving money is essential for financial stability. It can help you achieve your goals and prepare for unexpected expenses.
That's right. For example, let's say you save $50 a week. In a year, you'll have $2,600 saved up. That can go towards a down payment on a house or a new car.
Wow, that's a great example. It really shows how saving a little bit can add up to a lot.
Absolutely. It's important to remember that every penny saved is a penny earned.
Hey, have you heard the idiom a penny for your thoughts?
Yes, I have. It means asking someone what they're thinking about or what's on their mind.
That's right. Do you know where the idiom comes from?
The origin of the phrase is uncertain, but it's thought to date back to the 16th century.
Interesting. Why is it called a penny for your thoughts?
The phrase a penny for your thoughts is literal in meaning. It implies that someone is offering to pay for your thoughts.
Ah, I see. So, it's a way of asking someone what they're thinking about without being too direct.
Exactly. It's a common idiom used in everyday language.
That's good to know. I'll keep that in mind next time I use the phrase.
It's always helpful to understand the meaning behind idioms. They add color and depth to our conversations.
Have you ever heard the phrase, a piece of cake?
Yes, I have. It means something is effortless or easy to do.
That's right. Do you know where the phrase comes from?
There are a few theories, but the most popular one is that it comes from the 19th century when cakes were given out as prizes for winning competitions.
Interesting. Can you give me an example of how to use the phrase?
Sure. Let's say you're a great swimmer, and someone asks if you can swim a mile. You could say, "It's a piece of cake for me," meaning it's effortless for you to do.
Got it. Thanks for explaining the phrase to me.
No problem. It's always good to learn new idioms and their meanings.
Hey, have you heard the idiom actions speak louder than words?
Yes, I have. It means that what someone does is more important than what they say.
That's right. It's about actions being more impactful than words.
Exactly. It's easy to say something, but it's harder to follow through with actions.
Why is this idiom important?
It's important because actions show a person's true intentions and character.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say someone promises to help you with a project but never shows up. Their words mean nothing because their actions show they don't care about helping you.
I see. So, it's about being reliable and following through with what you say.
Exactly. It's essential to back up your words with actions to gain trust and respect.
Thanks for explaining that idiom to me. It makes a lot of sense now.
No problem. It's always good to remember that actions speak louder than words.
Have you ever heard the phrase, an apple a day keeps the doctor away?
Yes, I have. But I'm not sure what it means exactly.
It means that eating an apple every day can help you stay healthy and avoid getting sick.
Really? How does that work?
Apples are packed with vitamins and antioxidants that boost your immune system and help fight off infections.
That's interesting. Are there any studies that support this claim?
Yes, there are. One study found that eating apples can reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke, and certain types of cancer.
Wow, I had no idea that apples were so beneficial for our health.
Yes, it's important to have a balanced diet that includes plenty of fruits and vegetables to stay healthy.
I'll definitely start eating more apples from now on.
That's great to hear. Remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Hey, have you heard the idiom all ears?
Yes, I have. It means that someone is listening attentively to what you're saying.
That's right. Do you know where the idiom comes from?
According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the idiom's origin dates back to the 17th century. It's believed to have originated from the idea of a horse pricking up its ears to listen attentively to its rider.
Interesting. So, why is it important to know this idiom?
Using idioms like all ears can make our communication more colorful and expressive. It also helps us convey our message more effectively.
That makes sense. Can you give me an example of how to use the idiom?
I'm all ears is a common expression used to show that you're ready and willing to listen to someone. For example, if someone wants to share their problems with you, you can say I'm all ears to show that you're there to listen.
Got it. Thanks for explaining the idiom to me.
No problem. It's always good to learn new idioms to improve our communication skills.
Hey, have you ever heard the phrase, cool as a cucumber? What does it mean?
Yes, I have. It means to be calm, composed, and not easily flustered, even in stressful situations.
Ah, I see. But why a cucumber? Why not a tomato or a carrot?
Good question. It's actually because cucumbers have a lower temperature than the ambient temperature, which makes them feel cool to the touch. They also have a high water content, which makes them refreshing and hydrating, just like a cool head in a stressful situation.
That's pretty cool. Where did the phrase originate from?
It's believed to have originated in the 1730s in England. There was a popular ballad called The Constant Lovers, which included the lines, cool as a cucumber, could see the girls around. It's unclear whether the phrase was coined because of the ballad or if it was already in use and inspired the lyrics.
Interesting. I never knew that. Thanks for explaining it to me.
No problem. Just remember, next time you're feeling stressed, try to be as cool as a cucumber.
Have you heard the phrase beat around the bush?
Yes, I have, but I'm not sure what it means. Can you explain it to me?
Sure. It means to avoid talking about the main topic and instead talk about other things that are not relevant.
Oh, I see. Why is it important to avoid beating around the bush?
Well, it can be frustrating for the listener, and it wastes time. It's better to be direct and get to the point.
That makes sense. Do you know where the phrase came from?
There are a few theories, but the most popular one is that it comes from hunting. Hunters would beat the bushes to scare out the birds, but some hunters would avoid doing so and instead walk around the bushes, wasting time and not catching anything.
Interesting. So, it's better to be direct and not waste time. Got it!
Exactly. It's an important phrase to remember in both personal and professional communication.
Have you ever heard phrase barking up the wrong tree?
Yes, I have. It means someone is pursuing the wrong course of action or looking in the wrong place for something.
Exactly, and the phrase has an interesting origin.
Oh really? Tell me more.
The phrase comes from hunting dogs that would bark at the base of a tree where they thought their prey was hiding, but the prey was actually in a different tree.
That's a great example. So when someone is barking up the wrong tree, they're making the same mistake as those hunting dogs.
Exactly. For example, if someone accuses the wrong person of a crime, they're barking up the wrong tree.
Or if someone is trying to solve a problem but is looking in the wrong place for the solution, they're also barking up the wrong tree.
Right. And it's important to recognize when we're barking up the wrong tree, so that we can change course and find the right solution or direction.
Definitely. It's always better to be on the right track than to waste time and effort barking up the wrong tree.
Hey, have you heard of the idiom bite the bullet?
Yes, I have. It means to endure a painful or difficult situation with courage.
That's right. Do you know where the phrase comes from?
It originated from the practice of giving soldiers a bullet to bite down on during surgery without anesthesia.
Wow, that's intense. So, how is it used in everyday language?
It's used to encourage someone to face a difficult situation bravely, even if it's unpleasant or painful.
I see. Can you give me an example?
Sure. If someone is nervous about giving a presentation, you might say, "Just bite the bullet and do it, it will be over soon."
Got it. Thanks for explaining the idiom to me.
No problem. It's always good to learn new things.
Hey, have you heard the idiom cost an arm and a leg?
Yes, I have. It means something is very expensive, right?
Exactly. The origin of the phrase is uncertain, but it's believed to have started in the early 1900s.
Interesting. Can you give me an example of how to use it in a sentence?
Sure. Buying a new car can cost an arm and a leg. It means that buying a new car is very expensive.
Got it. It's a useful phrase to know, especially when talking about expensive things.
Exactly. And it's not just for things. You can also use it for experiences. For example, going on a luxury cruise can cost an arm and a leg.
that makes sense. Thanks for explaining the idiom to me.
No problem. It's always good to learn new phrases and expressions. Hey, have you ever heard the phrase "a break a leg"?
Yes, I have. It's often used in theater, right?
Exactly. But do you know what it means?
Not really, no. I always thought it was just a good luck wish.
Well, it is a good luck wish, but it's also an idiom that means to wish someone success or good luck in their performance.
Oh, I see. Where did the phrase come from?
There are a few theories, but the most popular one is that it originated in the theater. In the early days of theater, audiences would stomp their feet instead of clapping, and a great performance would cause the floorboards to break a leg.
That's interesting. I never knew that. So, can you use it in other situations besides theater?
Definitely. It's a versatile idiom that can be used in any situation where you want to wish someone good luck or success.
Thanks for explaining that to me. I'll definitely use it more often now.
No problem. Break a leg is a fun and unique way to wish someone good luck.
Have you ever heard the phrase bird's eye view?
Yes, I have. It means to see something from a high vantage point.
That's right. The phrase comes from the perspective of a bird flying high in the sky.
It's often used to describe a comprehensive and panoramic view of something.
Exactly. For example, if you're on top of a mountain, you can see a bird's eye view of the surrounding landscape.
The idiom is commonly used in business and marketing to describe a broad and strategic perspective of a project or situation.
It's also used in art and design to describe a top-down view of a scene or object.
The idiom emphasizes the importance of taking a step back and looking at things from a different perspective.
That's a great point. It's a useful phrase to keep in mind.
Definitely. It's a simple yet effective way to communicate a broad and strategic perspective.
Have you heard the idiom "when pigs fly"?
Yes, I have. It's an interesting phrase. Do you know what it means?
Not really. Can you explain it to me?
Sure. When pigs fly is an idiom that means something is impossible or unlikely to happen.
Oh, I see. Do you know where the phrase comes from?
The origin of the phrase is uncertain, but it dates back to the 1600s. It's believed to have originated in Scotland, where they used the phrase "pigs might fly" to describe something that was impossible.
That's fascinating. Can you give me an example of when to use the idiom?
Sure. Let's say someone tells you, "I'll eat 100 big pizzas in one sitting." You could say, "Sure, when pigs fly."
Got it. Thanks for explaining that to me.
No problem. It's always good to learn new idioms.
Hey, have you heard the phrase "to be a dark horse"?
Yes, I have. It means to be an unknown person or thing that surprises others with unexpected qualities or abilities.
That's right. Did you know that the phrase originated from horse racing?
I didn't know that. Tell me more.
In horse racing, a dark horse is a horse that is relatively unknown and unexpected to win the race. However, sometimes these horses surprise everyone and win the race.
Ah, that makes sense. So, the phrase is used to describe people or things that are unexpected and surprising.
Exactly. For example, if someone is a dark horse in a competition, it means that they are not well known or expected to win, but they surprise everyone by winning.
I see. That's a useful phrase to know.
Definitely. It's also a common phrase used in politics to describe a candidate who is not well known but surprises everyone by winning the election.
That's interesting. Thanks for explaining the meaning and origin of the phrase.
Hey, have you heard the idiom "once in a blue moon"?
Yes, I have. It means something that happens very rarely.
That's right. Do you know where the phrase comes from?
The phrase blue moon originated in the 16th century, and it referred to the third full moon in a season that had 4 full moons instead of 3.
Interesting. So, how did it become an idiom?
Well, in the early 20th century, the phrase once in a blue moon was coined to describe something that happens very rarely, like a blue moon.
Ah, I see. Can you give me an example of how to use it in a sentence?
I only see my old college friends once in a blue moon. It means you rarely see them.
Got it. Thanks for explaining that idiom to me.
No problem. It's always good to learn something new.
Have you ever heard of the idiom to have a heart of gold?
Yes, I have. It means to be kind and generous.
That's right. The idiom is often used to describe someone who is compassionate and caring.
It's a great way to compliment someone who is always willing to help others.
Exactly. Did you know that the origin of the idiom dates back to the 14th century?
No, I didn't. What's the story behind it?
It's believed that the phrase originated from a medieval French poem that described a knight with a heart made of gold.
That's interesting. Can you give an example of how the idiom is used in a sentence?
Sure. You could say, she may not have a lot of money, but she has a heart of gold.
I see. It's a great way to recognize someone's kindness and generosity.
Hey, have you heard the idiom to have a skeleton in the closet?
Yes, I have. It means to have a shameful secret that you don't want others to know about.
That's right. Do you know where it comes from?
There are a few theories, but the most common one is that it originated from the 19th century practice of using skeletons for medical research and teaching. People would keep their skeletons in a closet to hide them from public view.
That's fascinating. So, it's like having a shameful secret that you're hiding away.
Exactly. It's often used to describe someone who has done something wrong or embarrassing in the past and doesn't want others to find out about it.
I see. It's a useful idiom to know.
Yes, idioms are an essential part of language learning. They add color and depth to our conversations.
I agree. I'll make sure to use this idiom in my next conversation.
Great. Just be careful not to use it in the wrong context. It could make things awkward.
Hey, have you ever heard the expression raining cats and dogs?
Yes, I have. It means it's raining heavily, right?
Exactly. But do you know where the expression comes from?
No, I don't. Do you?
The origin of the phrase is unclear, but there are a few theories. One theory is that it comes from Norse mythology, where cats and dogs were believed to be associated with storms.
Interesting. What's another theory?
Another theory is that the phrase originated in the 17th century when houses had thatched roofs. During heavy rain, cats and dogs would hide in the thatch, and when it rained heavily, they would fall out of the roof.
Wow, that's quite a visual. So, why do we still use the phrase today?
It's likely that the phrase has stuck around because it's catchy and easy to remember. Plus, it's a fun way to describe heavy rain.
I can see that. Thanks for explaining the origin of the phrase to me.
No problem. It's always interesting to learn about the origins of idioms.